Is there a suicide gene? Hi, I'm Jeff Jackson, and I counsel people who've lost someone they love to suicide. A question I'm frequently asked is suicide genetic? Now, if you've lost a parent or a sibling, you may fear that you too share whatever condition led to their suicide. Or if you lost a spouse, you may fear for your kids. And those are perfectly logical concerns. The short answer to the question is maybe. I know that's an unsatisfying answer, but it's the best medical science has right now. But let me summarize for you what is known. In 2021, the largest study of its kind was conducted on this topic by an international consortium of scientists. They scanned the DNA of over 500,000 people, about 30,000 of whom had attempted suicide. They found a specific region on one chromosome that appears to be linked to increased risk of suicide attempts, and possibly some related behaviors too. This study confirms what a lot of mental health professionals have long suspected, because suicide does run in some families. What they didn't know was if it was biological or environmental, meaning some family members might be susceptible because they were impacted by the other suicide in the family in a kind of emotional domino effect. And many researchers still believe that ripple effect may be a major factor, despite the genetic findings. Now, throughout this video series, I state that I strongly believe suicide is almost always the result of a brain chemistry disorder, a biological condition. And if that's true, it's only logical to assume that this is something that can be inherited. But if you have that genetic risk, it doesn't mean you will attempt suicide. It's a risk, not a certainty. It's not a sentence, and it's certainly not your destiny. But it's something to be aware of, because it might mean you need to work a little harder to protect your mental health. And I say may because all physiological conditions exist on a spectrum, and you may not have as strong a vulnerability to suicide as the family member you lost, if at all. Unfortunately, there's no lab test you can take to determine whether or not you've inherited this trait or to what degree. But here's a simple way you can assess your risk. Ask yourself, before your loved one's suicide, did you ever have suicidal thoughts yourself? And before is the key. Of course, now you're wrestling with grief and shock, and suicide is a reality in your world. But before that happened, before their suicide was even remotely on your radar, did you ever have suicidal thoughts? If so, then you may be at risk. And if those thoughts are strong and have been recurring for a long time, I implore you to tell everyone around you about it and ask them for help today, and be open to whatever help is available. Becoming aware of this risk may actually have an unexpected benefit, because most people who suffer from the underlying suicidal condition don't have the benefit of an advance warning. They know what they're feeling, but they likely don't understand why, or that a neurobiological condition may be at its root. But again, that's only if true, strong suicidal thoughts were present long before your loved one's suicide. If not, I don't think it's something you need to worry about. You have enough complex emotions to deal with already without adding that extra weight. If this video has brought you some clarity, please follow or subscribe. I have a lot more to share with you.